Let's get 2 Kings chapter 4, verse 23.
2 Kings chapter 4, verse 23. And he said, Wherefore wilt thou go to him today? It is neither new moon nor Sabbath. And he said, It shall be well.
Notice the new moon and the Sabbath in the same sentence, but that ain't the purpose of what I want this scripture for. I want to just point out new moon, key word. And if you look up that word, new moon, it's going to give you a Strong's Concordance number, and that number is H2320. Now, because we got a lot of teaching, I'm not going to waste no time. That's the same coordinates number that we just looked up for month. So, if you look at that number, it tells you it means Kodash, and it's an implication of month. So if you look up the number for month, it's going to tell you it's going to mean new moon. If you look up the number for new moon, it's going to tell you it means month. So therefore, they both are different English words with the same interchangeable meaning. We must understand how important it is that when we read scriptures, we must use that Strong's Concordance to verify our meanings. That way, we'll be sure to bring the correct doctrine. See, this is what the problem is. This is the prime example of why we're having different doctrines. Too many of us are reading this without the Strong's Concordance, because the Strong's Concordance, as you see, can I see your book for a minute? This is a big book. Look at the pages. We ain't reading that. You ain't gonna convince me you reading all that book, all this, man, you know all that Hebrew. So when we read our Bible, some words we must shepherdize. We must go into the Strong's Concordance and verify that the words in that meaning mean the same in English, and if not, then we need to bring the correct meaning forth. And this way, when you make teachings and get into your doctrine, you will be bringing most likely the same doctrine as someone that's studying the same books, because the meaning will be the same. Therefore, new moon, moon, and month has the same meaning in scriptures. And I will show 12 months by name or 12 new moons by number in scriptures also, to signify a complete year with 12 months total, and to prove again the 7-day Sabbath being predicated from the new moon. So let's keep it moving. Let's go to Exodus. What we want to do, like I said, we're going to bring 12 new moons or 12 months by name or 12 new moons by number, straight from the Bible. And within the scriptures, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 scriptures that's going to prove to you that the 7th day is predicated from the new moon. Exodus 12 and 18.
Exodus chapter 12, verse 18. In the first month of the 14th day of the month, at evening, ye shall eat unleavened bread until the 1 and the 20th day of the month at evening.
So this is the first month or the 14th day of the month. So that's the first month. But it will also be signified as, what would the month be? No. Not what it was, but what the word month means.
Oh, the new moon.
The moon. So it could, that scripture could also be read as, in the first new moon on the 14th day of new moon. I ain't gonna read the whole scripture. I'm just trying to point out the time. Second scripture we're gonna go to is Exodus 3 and 4. It still reflects the first month, but it gives you a name. So I just wanted to bring that out. It's in your PDFs. 13 and 4. I'll read it while my brother get the other scriptures, because it's a lot to cover. This day came ye out in the month of Abib. So we know Abib represents the first month, and we know now The first month is a number that's represented by we know now that the word month is represented by new moon. So month can be the first new moon or the month of Eve. Now let's go to Ezra chapter 30, 20. Now we want to find scriptures for, no. This is still the first month. This is still the first month. But you know what makes this scripture so powerful? It's about to identify the seventh day. So this is at Ezekiel 30, chapter 30 and 20. Let's read this so I can laugh
at it. Ezekiel chapter 30, verse 20. And it came to pass in the 11th year, and in the first month, it is the seventh day.
What day?
It is the seventh day.
What day?
In the seventh day of the month, that the word of the Most High came unto me, saying.
Now, I gotta ask you a question, bro, because you're the only one sitting right next to me, and I just want to ask you a question before I even point something out of this. What's the seventh day?
The seventh day of the Sabbath.
What's the Sabbath?
Sabbath is the seventh day.
Okay. Same thing with me. The seventh day is the Sabbath. The Sabbath is the seventh day. So would you agree that when you sing that seventh day, that's referring and talking about the Sabbath?
The Shabbat, that's what exactly.
Okay. So the seventh day of the month. And we know that month means new moon. So is that not saying that the Shabbat is predicated from the new moon?
That's what exactly says here.
Okay, let's read that scripture one more time and replace that word month with the correct meaning, new moon.
Exodus chapter 30, verse 20.
No, Ezekiel.
Ezekiel, I'm sorry. Ezekiel. And it came to pass in the 11th year in the first.
Hold on, I'm sorry to cut you off. I need you to turn that volume up. I need you to turn this one up because you're replacing the word.
All right. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first new moon.
The first who?
In the first new moon.
Word.
In the seventh day of the month.
In the seventh day of the what?
The new moon.
The seventh day of the what?
The new moon. That the word of the Most High came unto me, saying.
So, for those that keep saying it's not in Scripture, it's not in Scripture. I've been researching 2 months, and I ain't get it. But I'm a scholar. I've been reading. I'm studying. I use my e-sword. You could have just typed in the seventh day and it would have came up. It's there. It's there. So therefore, it's never a time in... First, let me ask you another question. Is there any time in the Bible where any seventh day is not the Sabbath?
No.
So any seventh day in this book is the Sabbath? Definitely. Keep it moving. We got a lot to cover. I'm going to keep it moving, bro. Because they telling me it's not in Scripture. That's what they saying. Like, I ain't reading, you know what I'm saying? So there's all these same books everybody got, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to keep it moving a little faster. 1 Kings 6:1. And it came to pass in 480 years after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign, in the month of Ziph, which is the 2nd month. Okay? Esther 8:9. Then were the king's scribes called at the time in the 3rd month, that is the month Sabbath. So with this scripture, the 3rd month is defined by the number 3 and the name Sabbath. I know I'm not going into what the scripture means. I'm just specifically counting the months. That's all I want you to do right now for this particular session. We're just going to count the months, and I'll tell you the purpose at the end. Jeremiah 52:6. And in the 4th month, so now the 4th month is identified by 4, Jeremiah 52:12. Now in the 5th month, so now the 5th month was then identified